You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA Podcasting.
Thank fuck.
The wasteland is a host of apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello, and welcome to the 480th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by, I was going to say a whole flock, but we're light one feather of our flock. Tonight we have Jess. What's up, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Greets, everybody. If I'm here, then who's missing?
And we also have Ray. Ray is taking the evening off, so Godspeed to Ray. Hopefully has a safe and fun adventure off and whatever he's up to. But tonight we do have returning special guest and longtime feedback participant. Our good buddy Jeff is back on the show. Hey, Jeff, what's going on?
Hello.
Welcome back, sir. Always a pleasure to have you on. Love to chat. So, been a while. Thought it's time to bring Jeff back on the show.
It's great to be back.
It's really I'm just going to take this opportunity to get him live recorded to make him promise that he's going to come record drums on my next album, so that we have it actually here. I can get it down, so I have to hold him to it. Right?
I'm only one state away.
Only one state away.
5-hour drive or something.
Welcome to the Fallout Feed and Band Recruitment Program.
Band recruit Jess, what are you going to come play? Going to come play bass on something?
I'll do bass on something if I ever get over there, sure. I mean, if we had Alex do like guitar solos and have people do everything.
Oh, shoot. We'll just get the whole band together again.
Not to mention the Fallout Feed choir. Christmas isn't too far away.
Everyone just starts singing and holding hands.
That's part of that.
Yeah, you were, Jeff. That's awesome.
It was great. Nice. I don't know. Was it 20 odd some people participate in that? Super sweet. Anyway, tonight on the show we will do our gameplay right off the top of the show. As per usual, we have Fallout Terminal Velocity. We're wrapping up Lee's part 4 of his original batch he sent, and then he is working on some new projects I've heard. Also, Solior has a couple of more that we have on the back burner there that we will be hearing in the next couple of weeks. So, got some game time, a double dip of game time again. Had so much fun last time with all our games. We'll get into that again with, and also Iguana Bits. Got some patch notes and a couple of shouts on our way out the door. So why don't we go ahead, roll into it. And Jeff, since it's been a while since you've been on, not just this past week, but what have you been playing in general since you dip in and out of the Fallout here and there? What else have you been playing recently, sir?
Well, I think the last time I was on, we were in the middle of Fallout 4 Survival roundtable. So it's been a while.
That's a fun roundtable. That was a good one.
About a year. About a year since that ended.
I think I tried to participate in Fallout 1, but for some reason I just could not get the game to run.
Hey, okay. So it's an actual couldn't get it to run instead of this game sucks. I don't want to play this anymore.
That's his excuse.
I had it running, but it would crash a bunch, and I just
Well, I'm
not a PC player that much, so
you have to go get a computer from 1995, and it'll just run great.
But yeah, I tried that, but since then, Starfield came out. So when it initially came out, I played that like everyone probably in this group played religiously for a while. And then I disappeared from it, but now that mods are available again, I'm back into it.
Hop back in. Nice.
Yeah, I really liked the shipbuilding, but like back when you were playing vanilla, you had to spend a lot of time just earning the money just to build a ship. Then a lot of time now with mods, you could just add $1 million in your pocket and just spend hours building ships.
Oh, so you give yourself like the infinite budget or whatever, so you can just kind of
the cheat terminals or whatever give you $1 million. You go build a ship, Then it's like, all right, I'm done with this. Buy another ship, strip it down, build another ship. So, like, I love it because it's like there's games within games in that game.
There really are a lot of different systems. I mean, all the Bethesda games have a lot of systems, but Starfield, they added some new ones. You know,
Yeah.
getting ships, scrapping them, rebuilding ships, and
What?
you know, still working it out. But it's great to see where it's gone and how people are adding mods for it.
Like, I remember having fun with, was it Kerbal Space Station or whatever it was, just building ships on that game. So this is just like one step up above that.
Maybe 2 or 3 steps up. I crashed a lot of those
Yeah.
ships. Just saying,
Yeah.
Kerbals was rough.
Yeah, but it was just like the idea is like, all right, I'm gonna just pull all these parts together and just have a good time building a ship. But I mean, besides that, you know, I've beaten it multiple times, gone through the Unity a few times. I think currently right now I'm just playing Bounty Hunter kind of thing. Got the was it the Useful Habs mod?
Oh, did you? Okay. Did you
Yeah.
get the one for Briggs too?
Yes, the Useful Briggs.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I got most of the useful Briggs. I got the useful what the hell was it? The mess hall and the useful infirmary. So I got all 3 of the useful ones. So
Oh,
I think-
okay. Cargo, infirmary, Briggs.
so I'm almost like, because I build the ships, and usually when I'm building the ships, I try to make them kind of lore friendly. So I'm like, all right, the brig has to be away from the living station. So it's like, can't have the prisoners with my passengers I'm taking around. So I in my shipbuilding, I'm I don't know, making them very lore friendly, trying to, like, I'm living on this ship, keeping them decorated very much. And I am playing the bounty hunter, so I have like 3 or 4 brigs. I'm filling them up. I'm just going everywhere. And it's just funny when you go over to your brigs, there's so many people just like sitting there. And then when you go to cash it in, you just make a lot of money.
Wow, you can just rack up the prisoners and then kind of turn them all in at once.
Uh-huh. Yeah, when just the what's it? I think each have of the hell's the brinks, they all could hold up to 4 prisoners, and you can have as many brigs as you want.
Okay, that's really neat. Yeah, because I mean, however you build your ship, it's funny how we got that gameplay loop in there too. Because I mean, that wasn't there originally. They added useful brigs, but you couldn't do a lot with them. Now we got this bounty system separate from Bethesda
Yeah, the
with that
tracker,
update.
was it when they added the tracker
Trackers Alliance.
That's not even a mod or whatever. That was just actually added
Yeah,
to the
it's-
game.
Was it June? That was June, right? Because maps were March. Trackers Alliance was either end of May or June
So
when we got
And then-
creations. Yeah, it must have been we got creations in June. So
is this the thing where you go like
Pretty
check
awesome.
the job board and they send you out on a bounty mission or something? And
Yeah,
Okay,
the tracker
nice.
Alliance. They have a whole
There are
mission,
two ways
but
to
then
get
they
'em.
have, yeah, and then you can just kind of go around cities, use your scanner, and if somebody has a bounty on their head, it'll highlight them red. And
Yep.
you can just kind of confront them. You can either fight them or you can convince them to give themselves up.
scan for outstanding bounties. If you want to be not just a bounty hunter, but like a cop, you want to go full cop. Just do that.
hmm And then at that point, you could just like subdue them, and you could, with the useful brigs, you can cuff them and send them back to your ship, and then you could just keep filling them up.
And are you
And
doing
then
that to
eventually-
pay for your shipbuilding habit, or what are you doing with these bounties you're collecting?
I'm just having a good time just doing the bounties.
Nice.
Because I played going through all the missions, just like in Skyrim. After you play all the missions enough times, you're just like, all right, I need to find something else to do.
Yeah,
And you'll always find in these games, you'll always find something.
there's
to do.
something. Yeah, you could do an alchemy playthrough. You could be like, okay, I'm now going to do stuff for just the Jarl here. I'm going to be Thane of this town and just do everything I can around them. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And so that's
But,
your
like-
loop while you wait for Shattered Space coming out in 3 days.
I mean, I was playing a space trucker for a while, where I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna pick this stuff, take a shipment up here, take it over to here. It's very
it's like
like my wife. She thinks it's so boring. She'll sit there and watch me and thinks it's boring, but I'm like, I'm a space trucker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're
But-
space trucking. It's like people who like
but-
Euro Truck Simulator, American Truck Simulator. Like, you know,
I've
but
played
in
those
space.
as well. I have
Mhm.
played those. I got the steering wheel and everything.
That's
But-
awesome.
But yeah, I am very excited about the Shattered Space coming. But like I bought the pre-order for it, so I already own it, so it's coming.
What-
Awesome. We've got a question from the chat asking how much money do you get for the average bounty for people who haven't run them much?
Sometimes I think it's about 10,000 credits or so.
Ooh,
Like,
that's hot.
It's pretty decent amount. I mean, and you could turn it, like I said, you could pile them up, and then you could just turn them in. You just go to a security guard in any of the major cities, and you're like, hey, I have a bounty to turn in, and you can just turn them all in at once, which is kind of nice.
So you're playing Starfield, excited about that? Yeah, that was a big
Yeah.
thing to come out in the last year. It
Mhm.
definitely took over mine and Ray's gaming for a good, well, me like a good 6 to
Yeah.
8 months, and Ray it hasn't stopped yet. So yeah,
But yeah, between that, I did get back into Skyrim for a couple months. Like
Mhm.
like we always do. We always go that loop.
yeah, we do, 100%.
But more recently, I have been dabbling in a little bit of castles.
Oh, nice.
Still trying to figure things out.
Yeah, I'm lost
like
on it.
very. Yeah,
It's a little
very
more
early
complex than Shelter in a lot of ways. As far as like the way
'Cause-
things work together, where you position things, how you build, what's the best way to do this, to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And everybody's always so angry. I'm just like,
Oh.
all right.
I haven't
But
had that too much, but
not
I don't piss
sad.
people off
Not-
as much as you, I guess.
Not as much angry as just sad.
Oh, that's even
And-
worse.
And I'm just like, all right, I try to position the people that are married together in the same room and all that. It's just, I'm still trying to figure the game out. Shelter.
A lot of it has to do with your decisions, like
Mhm.
your Jarl, your Thane,
Yeah.
technically I think they call it King and Queen, but that doesn't seem right necessarily depending on the, whatever kingdom you're in. I always feel like you're kind of in a faraway part of Cyrodiil, like maybe north of Calovia, the Calovian Highlands or something, like between there and I don't know. This is just me guessing, but but
I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So we're called
the
they're. It's not the Jarl who's on the throne; it's a king or queen. So we're
Yeah, it is to say that.
yeah. So we're
They say king,
at
queen.
the okay. I
And
need to
one of the
pay
choices
closer
isn't
attention. I
even-
just thought it was like the Jarl of a local.
well,
What-
it's not
what-
Skyrim. It's much more.
Yeah.
It's not Imperial. It's a little bit
Elder
closer to
Scrolls, right? It's
Cyrodiil, yeah. And they mentioned something about bandits a couple times, and I know they mentioned a few cities in Cyrodiil. That's why I kind of feel like got to be that area. And it doesn't
But
really feel like Bruma.
I
At least not
see-
my castle. I don't know about your castle. My castle doesn't feel like, Bruma or the north.
I see
Well, I know the one
cats
thing they keep.
and the
ahead.
Argonians. You can design your place to be like a the who are the Alakir? Where are they from? The Red Guard or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Isn't there like a Red Guard castle version?
Well, that's what we're talking about. Oh, right. You can actually change your castle style
Can't-
to have
can't
that
you?
style.
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
you
I
can?
don't know.
Absolutely.
You have
So
to
I think you have to
unlock it, I
buy
think.
it though.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
so
of course.
Hammerfell is the name of what we're thinking of. And yeah, you have to pay for it. That is one thing about castles. There's a bit of monetization in there. And I mean, you can skip it.
Yeah.
I've been skipping it completely, but it's there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, just like
But-
shelter. I mean, I rarely have I actually spent real money in shelter, but you could dump a ton of cash in that if you're not careful.
See, I played Shelter on the phone, so it was always watch a video and you could get a chance to get,
Yep.
a lunchbox. And I just, anytime it was available, I just watched the video, got me I
Yep.
didn't spend a dime on that game and just played it.
Start the video,
Yeah,
hit
so-
mute, so you don't have to actually listen to it.
Uh huh. And then it's
So-
like, all right.
I have a Fallout related question. Not to, talk about Fallout on the show or anything like that, but I want to
No,
bring you
no,
over
no.
to that range.
Yes, yes.
Fallout
I
sucks.
remember after the TV show came out, you mentioned in the Facebook group, you said, my wife is getting really into Fallout and she's going to play her first Fallout game.
Oh,
Yes.
did
Did that
happen?
happen? And what happened with it?
She did start playing Fallout 3.
Ooh,
Ooh.
okay.
Why
Yeah,
that
she-
one? I
I
know
mean-
that you're a big fan, but is that the right game to introduce someone to the Fallout
I mean,
series?
She was having fun with it.
Oh, good.
She did get frustrated at times, the minefield, and the sniper really got her.
Oh wow, yeah, Arkansas there with his sniper rifle. Yeah, that's a bitch.
That's a really
But,
fucked up, hard place to go. Yeah, that sucks.
But yes, she did start playing it. She did not finish. I mean, life got in the way, work. She just recently went back to school too, so she doesn't have a
It
lot
does.
of free
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
But
and I don't know if she
thanks
games
to-
regularly, but I remember you mentioning she was going to play. So
Yeah, thanks to the show, because we really got into the show. Like, I was excited about it, but she knows the story, she knows the lore, she's watched me play, very familiar with the source material, but never really played anything. And then we were both very excited about the show. And I think after we watched the first 2 episodes, I think she was more excited about, like, hey, when you get home, we're going to watch another episode, aren't we?
Mhm.
So by the end of it, she's like, I got to start playing one. So yeah, it was exciting.
sweet. No, I'm glad she tried. I mean, obviously life gets in the way, but that's cool.
Yeah, she
She
does.
tried
She says she wants to get back. She wants to really play Fallout New Vegas. So she
Yeah,
wants to
well,
finish 3 before Vegas.
because that's going to connect to the story a bit more, at least the setting that we've seen. And of course, Fallout 4 is maybe the most accessible of them
Yeah.
for a lot of people, depending. But no, that's great because, I mean, obviously she's not alone. We've talked a lot about how, anecdotally, we all know at least 1 or 2 people who maybe started trying the games. A lot of them were gamers before.
Yes.
If they actually tried and got into it, they were already gamers, just hadn't really played Fallout. But there are some, I don't want to say normies, but people who were not into gaming or the Fallout series who said, I think I want to try that Fallout video game. And I don't think most of them stuck with it, but probably a few. So I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers were insane when the show came out. And I'm sure,
sure.
it didn't stay that way, but I'm sure more than a few stayed around or like, you know what, this is pretty damn good and I'm going to stick with it. Like, I know there's other podcasts that have nothing to do with video games even, I listen to Trailer Park Boys podcast
Mhm.
and the guys on there have mentioned, playing Fallout more than a few times.
Second
it's-
most popular show on Amazon ever. 65 million. Well, I think actually they said 68 million last I heard now, but wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
And I mean, the show was great. Can't wait for season 2.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm hoping next fall. I'm hoping we don't have to wait more than, another year. People still think, are saying 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. Maybe. But I don't
I
know.
want
They've
to
gotten-
see it fast, but I don't want to see it rushed,
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Make the show you want to make at your pace, but they were jumping right into the writing room.
What were some
And-
of the? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jess.
Well, did you see the Johnny Pemberton photos last week? Possible set leaks. So he posted Johnny Pemberton. For those who don't know, played Thaddeus, and he posted
our
on
favorite character.
yeah, exactly.
Something's wrong.
And he posted on his Instagram a picture of him with his hands in big old molds, making big old hands or blue molds and stuff. And he's there.
He's a fucking
He's
super
sitting up-
mutant.
And then he pulled it. Then they pulled it down but people caught it. And so maybe they're super mutant hands, or maybe it's simply just large molds to do something for Ghoul or something else. And then they said, oh no, this wasn't related to Fallout. But
Yeah,
it really looked
right.
it. It really looked it.
He's gonna take FEV to try to cure his ghoulism.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine? But yeah, so we don't know, and chat's calling BS on that. Agreed. I feel it's Fallout related. But if they're not filming yet, they're at least doing pre-filming prep. Making the new props and checking the costumes and getting things planned. Love it.
What were some of the highlights of the show for you, Jeff? Was there a particular actor or character or scene or style or whatever, music? What did you think?
I mean, Walton Goggins, the goal was just insane.
Yeah.
There's not much more that can be said about it, what he did at that. He was amazing in that. And just the moment where he's always being sidetracked with bullshit. That just hit so deep the hole for a fall.
People are using that quote all over. I have seen it on non-Fallout related stuff. Yeah.
It was just so all right. They get the game. They get the game.
hmm
Yeah, they got the tone.
But just, seeing Mr. House in that boardroom,
Right.
The
That was
bomb
pretty cool.
dropping in LA, just all the small little things, seeing the Pip-Boy, at least the bobbleheads randomly spread out to the wasteland.
Yeah. Yeah. All the little references, all the things that tied it into the game world.
The skeleton's family, like, just that reminds me of just walking into a house in Fallout 3, you know,
Yeah.
Hmm.
the family around the table.
Skeleton
Yeah. With the Vault-Tec
storytelling.
Plan
right?
D. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's just everything about it just made me feel like I was in a game, you know. So they knocked it out of the park. They couldn't have really done a better job of it.
I'm just
Man.
upset they used the voice protagonist in the show. They just really should have.
Yeah, that really ruined it.
I mean, Maximus didn't say much. Maybe he was actually the protagonist. He was pretty quiet at times.
But
no.
like, I know this is way, way, way past spoiler territory, but like, spoiler alert, like, I love Agent Cooper from Twin Peaks, you know?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I was so mad to see him turn the bad, you know, like, be the bad
Oh.
guy at the end.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I didn't expect it either. I'm like,
I mean,
you know, there were rumors, but we really didn't know. It was well done.
like, my wife follows Kyle MacLachlan on TikTok, and he is such a goofball. Like, all he does is just make stupid videos on TikTok all day. He is the funniest dude out there. And then to see the turn, I'm just like, all right, well, that is one way to do it. That was a twist I did not expect to see. But like, when I first saw him cast in it, I'm like, man, that excited me, because he was everything he's in. Portlandia, Twin Peaks, all the Flintstones movie he was in.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you're right.
He's great. So, like, just seeing him in it was one of my favorite parts about it, and his turn, just like, oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah, he's gonna be badass in that power armor if he wants to.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna be a badass. So,
What's he gonna do in New Vegas there?
I don't know, man. He's gonna turn into the Yes Man.
Yeah, we I mean, we really don't know, you know? Is there a secret Vault-Tec facility there? Is this where he has access to more nuclear arsenal or robots or something else? What can he be doing? We know Mr. House, you know, assuming the events of New Vegas, this is 10 years later, they're not going to screw with that stuff. So he's most likely dead. I mean, some people had, you know, their ending where he's alive, some he's dead. They're not going to canonize one. At least they're trying not to for the most part. So we're going to see him mostly in flashbacks, I'm sure. But we'll probably see a lot of him next season, even in flashbacks, which would be great.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a Fallout fan. I know that.
Sure is. So much going on. I love it. I love it. Now they just need to fix the Fallout 4 next gen update for PC players.
No, we need Fallout 5.
Oh, I mean, that too, but 2030, 31 can't come soon enough.
No, I mean, Fallout 76 and this TV show have guaranteed that it's at least a decade between 4 and 5.
We're not getting any younger.
No.
Andrew?
Has it already
it's
been a decade?
next year?
Next
No,
year?
it's a decade and about a year.
In
Yeah.
about a year. Okay, so 15 years you think it's going to be between the two games?
Yes, I
Holy
do.
shit.
Yes.
Wow.
Like, you know, Skyrim to Elder Scrolls 6, probably Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, 2026 if we're lucky, but more likely 27 or so. Some people say 28. It could be, but I have a feeling they're going to eke it out a little sooner than we think. I have a feeling the pre-pro is going well. They've got the new engine. They're working a lot of stuff. 3-4 years from now, we get hopefully Elder Scrolls 6. And then three or four more years for Fallout 5. I know the game dev cycles are taking longer now. I know a lot of them taking 4 or 5 years. But with pre-pro, with the way they're doing things, I can see them tightening it up again a little bit. Even Bethesda. I don't know. We'll see. Always the optimist, you know.
Well, now this time around, like, when they were doing Starfield, they didn't have the Microsoft money behind it when they began that.
I know, not for
With
most of it.
Now, Skyrim, they probably have, or not Skyrim or whatever, Elder Scrolls 6.
Mhm.
They're going to have that Microsoft money from a very
Skyrim
early
2,
stage.
please.
And the studios are solid, and they've got Creation Engine too. I mean, it's always faster for them when they're building on an engine they've created. And people can say, "Oh, Creation Engine 2 wasn't that different from Fallout 4 and Skyrim." You know, the original Creation Engine. Mother fluffer, pardon me. Have you gone back and tried to play Fallout 4 after playing a bit of Starfield? I'm sorry,
Yes,
the graphics
I
are
did.
so much better. They've done so much, so many more NPCs. If you think about Oblivion, okay, think about closing that gate outside Bruma. I'm on a Bruma tear tonight. Okay, you're there, and your big ass army of 8 people, maybe 12 actually. I think if you do from the different holds. Anyway, they're there defending against the enemies coming through, and it's like this major battle, and there's like 12 people fighting. You know, and then
agree with
Skyrim
you.
we got a lot more.
Yeah.
And,
I
not
agree with you on the
ton-
graphics. The
Mm-hmm.
Starfield's better.
So much better.
But I feel like you can interact with the world more on 4. It seems like there's more static things that you can't interact with in Starfield in comparison.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the changes. So with the remake of the engine, they had to change some things, and they're keeping their principles of everything interactable, but they have to add certain components and modules. So, like for instance, in the water, the way to do water, we can only swim on the surface. We can't go diving under and go under the water, and that's a huge difference. But of course, they're adding that in for Skyrim. I mean, you know, that's just they just didn't do it for Starfield, and that kind of makes sense when you figure they have to procedurally generate so much for these planets. As far as everything else, I mean, we got a lot more NPCs. There are more static objects, but in mods, there kind of always were in Skyrim. You know what I mean? And I feel like it was a slightly different design philosophy, where Skyrim and Fallout 4, there was a lot of clutter, but it was all interactable. In order to add more clutter in NPC, even in the new engine, I feel like they made some stuff less interactable because of that, because of the scope. I'm sure it's a balancing act. But
And it's interesting that they went sort of backward a little bit with the usefulness of the items you do pick up, because in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, like, you know, there's some useful items, but you know which individual items are the lawnmower blade, the fucking motorcycle gas tank, you know, those specific items are the ones you know you need to pick up. Otherwise, everything is just kind of garbage. And then in Skyrim and Fallout 4, almost everything is fucking useful that you pick up in some
right,
fashion or
scrapping
another.
and such. Yeah.
And then they step back with that again.
Starfield split the difference, right? Where some things are crafting components, but you're not doing the whole scrapping system and all that. Not in the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like lots of paper cups and stuff, and you can't like take those paper cups and get a piece of plastic out of them or something. Which it's
Right,
weird getting
because-
plastic out of paper cups. Anyway, but you know what I mean.
And you
No,
got to
but-
figure out which ones are actually
Useful.
crafting materials and which ones are
Right.
just
That's just it.
trash.
They didn't build in a scrap and craft system. Rather, the things you pick up are part of crafting. So if you think about it, it's like Fallout 3, where you have to get a motorcycle handbrake and a motorcycle gas tank and a friggin'
On a
ignition
much bigger
switch.
level.
The lawnmower
Yeah.
blade or whatever.
Exactly. And you're making your thing, but you're not scrapping the junk to make it. You're actually using the junk to make it. Then Fallout 4, they finally started using all the scrap as useful. And then, of course, 76 the same. But they went back to the older method that you would have in, say, Skyrim. Or the closest thing you get in Skyrim is ingredients for alchemy, where you are actually, you know, getting ingredient components to combine.
Right,
But
yeah.
otherwise, it was the same as the 3's and Oblivion system that way. Anyway,
But-
that's a fun digression. But yeah, Elder Scrolls 6. Someday, Fallout 5, someday later. I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
Any other big game diversions there, Jeff?
Well, you guys have been talking about a few games over the past couple weeks that I have actually spent a lot of time in.
Oh, you can say that one
of
that Ray's been
which-
talking about?
Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh, yeah. I want to play that.
I remember it was a Kickstarter game, and then I think my wife bought it for me at launch, and I remember playing it, and it was very inexciting. Like it was glitchy, but it was just very hard to figure out. Just like, you know, like how Ray was saying, it is a very difficult game to play to start out.
Mhm.
So I kind of gave it up for a while, and then I think about 2 years ago, year and a half ago, I picked it up again and actually gave it a shot. And the way it is yeah, you start out as a blacksmith's son that does not know how to hold a sword, does not know how to do basically anything. So as you start the game, you learn along with your character how to do this stuff. And as you learn the stuff and you learn how to actually play the game, he learns how to play it. It really opens up, and it becomes the fighting becomes so much fun because it actually feels like you are sword fighting. And then same thing with everything else, like how Ray was saying, you pick flowers and you'll get better at your alchemy or whatever your flowers. You'll end up picking more flowers because you learn how to do a better job of being more efficient picking flowers and
that classic
riding a
system.
horse. Riding
Do
a
something
horse.
to learn something.
Riding a horse is very clunky at first, very hard to do, but once you level that skill up, it starts to become very smooth and very easy to do. And it's a very hard game. It takes a long time to get into, very long learning curves. But once you get past that hill, it opens up to be such a very, very great story. Very epic battles, and like Ray was saying, that it is very based in real history.
Are there more than 12 people fighting in these epic battles?
Yes, there is.
Okay, cool.
There's a decent amount of people on screen at a time, and you got you got your bow and arrows. Same thing. Very hard to use at first, but once you figure it out, you'll actually get very good at it.
That's awesome.
And I don't know. It's just it really. I spent a very, very long time just trying to learn the game, and then I beat it, and I think I got the collection with all the DLCs. I finished probably half the DLCs. There's one where you actually play as Henry, the main character's love interest. You play an actual full story as her, which is a very different change, but it's fun.
I can imagine. That's cool. I mean, I'm glad it has a great story. That is one thing that really attracted me to it: the realism and the storytelling.
Very like when you're making potions, you actually have to I got to take a little bit of this, one handful of nettle, and take a little. You got your novel. What is it? The pestle, and you're grinding stuff down, and it's very intricate just to make a potion. And to save their schnapps, like he was saying, just to save the game, you got to drink some alcohol.
So in the same way Red Dead 2 does that, right? Like Red Dead 2 is very much, skin the animal, use the thing, use all the things, do all the animations. Like, it's a lot of work, but it's very immersive if you're into that sort of thing.
But it is like when you guys started talking about that and he started playing, I'm like, I don't have the time to play that game again, but I would love to play that game again. But the new one is coming up in February, so I'm like, all right, well, my birthday's in February. Happy birthday to me. I'm buying it.
There you go.
I'm buying it for my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah. I think Ray's going to be playing it for a while. That's awesome that you had so much fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure he's having a good time with it.
Your Xbox, right?
Very immersive. Yes.
What model do you use?
I got a Series X right now, but I think I played it on a Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it should run pretty well on a one.
It runs very good on Series X, of course.
Sweet.
But the other game you guys have been talking about, Andrew, City Skylines. I tried to bring up my Steam account earlier to see my hours played.
A lot.
It's got to be up there with my Bethesda games.
No way. See, I'm over 100, but I'm not. I don't think I'm even 2. I think I'm under 200.
I played a ton of that. And I just play it modded, never play scenarios or, just give me not a flat map, but give me any of the random maps and build the money cheat on, and I just build a city. I've tried building, Cleveland. I've downloaded, you could download custom maps of the terrain. So I've downloaded the Cleveland terrain and tried to rebuild the city itself.
That's awesome.
And so when you started bringing that up, I'm like, oh, there's another game that I'd like to get back to, but
do you ever try Fallout 4 map? Huh?
There is a terrain you can download for the Fallout 4.
Oh, don't get me involved in that.
On Xbox,
Yeah.
though? Are there mods
Not on
for
X-
Skylands? No. Okay, it's on PC.
No, this was PC.
Okay.
But yeah,
my issue with Paradox is how expensive they kind of nickel and dime you on every little expansion and upgrade. Oh, you want bigger storms. Oh, you want radio stations. Oh, you want this. And I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I spent more in the Atomic Shop in a year than I spend on everything, but still.
I think I initially got it on the Humble Bundle back in the day when they had those going on. They probably still have them going, but I think I got the game and like maybe 10 expansions for $15. So totally worth it. And I haven't bought any of the other expansions for it since. Every time I see something free, I'll get it. But PC I have now I got it in 2015. So needless to say, it definitely, when I run a game like Skylines, it makes lots and lots of noise. And it doesn't handle it. So my wife just bought a new gaming PC recently. So I'm gonna play it on there, but right now she's in school, so that's the most important thing. So
What'd she play? What's she into?
she does, I mean, she likes platformers, big platformer. She likes, what the hell is it? Stardew Valley, big into Stardew Valley.
That's what I call taste.
Yeah.
Yep.
She bought the gaming PC mostly for video or for photo editing. And
Yeah.
she's like, you know what? I'll just buy a gaming PC because it has everything you need. And I'm like, all right. And when you're not using it, I could benefit from that. But right now, she's using it a lot for school. So I'm like, all right, I'll just play my Xbox. But I do want to try out Skylines on that once I can get a little time with it.
hmm
I've been meaning to get into London, but again,
Yeah, PC only
Oh,
and
okay.
needs dedicated time. You got plenty
Yeah.
going on.
Those
Yeah.
Yep. So eventually
master
I'll be able
race
to
jerks. Oh, sorry.
get. Yeah, I'm a couch gamer.
For life.
Fully couch gamer. But once in a while, I'll bust out the mouse and keyboard and come over here.
Now, what version of Cities is out now? Because Skylines is
I think
fairly
it's
old,
Skylines
right?
2. I think
So-
City Skylines 2.
City Skylines 2 is on PC. I don't think it's out on console yet.
Okay.
And regular City Skylines is on
Might
both.
be.
How long?
Really? Did it finally come out on console? Maybe.
How long?
Because
has
it came out on
been
PC
out?
last
Okay.
fall.
All right, because I saw a clickbait article that I actually wanted to click into, but when I actually had time to read it, I couldn't find it again. But it said City Skylines 2, 1 year later. Is it finally worth playing yet?
Yeah, it had a lot of issues compared to the original game when it launched in October. There were a lot of issues.
But I just don't know. I guess you could make the graphics look more realistic or something, but I'm just trying to think, how would you improve a game like that? Because Cities, even though the graphics are slightly improved, it's basically the same game as SimCity 2000 that I played 20 years ago or whatever,
So, last article quoting IGN, Wesley Inpool writes for IGN on July 8th, and I quote, "More bad news for City Skylines 2, console version delayed indefinitely." In a note to console players,
Oh,
publisher
no.
Paradox said the console version was still not up to scratch and will now miss its planned October 2024 release window. So, yeah, not yet. Not on Xbox.
Ruh-roh.
We'll see if it does. But City Skylines is awesome on Xbox, so,
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what sort of benefit I get from an upgrade anyway, or another version. I have fun with it,
I don't
man.
know. It's prettier things, I guess.
Yeah, add
Yeah.
more monuments.
Bigger cities, more than 9 squares. They're already pretty huge, so.
Yeah.
But Paradox does some neat stuff. But I mean, they're struggling with a few things. Sorry,
Is that
publisher stuff.
Is that the biggest a map can be? Is the 9? I saw that you can buy panels next to you. And
I
stuff.
believe on 9 panels is the biggest. Is that right, Jeff? Do you know?
You can get the mod where you can get like 24 or something like that, but I think 9 is the vanilla max, I believe.
So how many would Cleveland cover?
Oh, I don't. I think you needed the mod in order to do that. It was definitely like 20 or so.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cleveland's
I
a
think
pretty
it was
sizable
like
city.
Cleveland and yeah, it was like Cleveland and some of the suburbs, but like it had the Cuyahoga River Valley in there and stuff like that. So it was
We used to
pretty
play
cool.
shows in Cleveland back in the day. Is there some section of town called like the Flats or something, or the
Yes,
the
that's it.
Muds
That's
or
actually-
something?
yeah, the Flats. That's down in that's just west of downtown. It's basically where the valley is between the east side and the west side.
Yeah, we
And,
we
you probably-
played
you probably played
dingy rock
Peabody's Down
shows
Under.
there. Yeah.
Peabody's down under.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Odeon.
totally right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He knows the
Peabody's used to
places.
flood all the time.
Right.
Good
They used to
Mhm.
say, yeah. We hope it
Yep.
doesn't rain. We'll book you, but
I've been there a bunch of times in high school.
So speaking of that, I mentioned I wanted to say at the beginning, but just want to mention on a more serious note that we're thinking of our friends dealing with hurricane right now. And I know there's more flooding than there has been. We're in the middle of hurricane season. It's a bad year. The water is warm from what I've heard. And yeah, hasn't been a good hurricane season yet. So hope everybody's safe. There's one hitting right now and some flooding already. So
yeah,
just thinking of you.
very, very bad. So everyone be safe, please.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah.
How about Fallout stuff, Jeff? You been playing any actual Fallout?
No. I've
Attaboy.
been on score retirement for a while.
Nice.
Good for you.
I've booted up 76 maybe once or twice in the past couple months, but get on there, look around my camp, and I'm like, just no interest right now. Like I played a little bit of the new update when it first came out, the new land. I think I played a quarter of the story or so.
See, you're
It's a
further-
cool
you're
region. It
further
looks
than I
cool,
am.
but-
It is really cool. It is.
But
Really
you got to
cool,
be in the
but-
mood.
I still I bust shelter out when I'm on break at work every now and then. So
Has
still doing that.
Castles taken that over at all?
Somewhat, but I still open up the shelter. Even
That's
though I
great.
do play some castles, shelter's still there. When
Is
the
this
Fallout
a,
4 update, just go ahead.
I said, is this a long-term shelter, or do you play lots of different ones?
I got one that's probably about 50 people. It's and I go on there, click the buttons, I watch the video to get my lunch boxes, and then I turn it off. So once every couple months I'll go in and I'll have 20 lunch boxes, 30 lunch boxes.
Whoa.
I'll just spam open them,
That's great. I should
So
play
it's
like
like
that.
a long term kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fun.
But yeah, when when that new update came out for Fallout 4, the HD or whatever it was,
Yeah, the next gen. Hmm.
that was the first time I played Fallout 4 vanilla for a very long time. So
And that
Played
was
that
good
for-
on console. It was an upgrade for a lot of console players, aside from, being vanilla and not all
Yeah.
your mods working.
What'd you think of that,
yeah,
Jeff?
so but I just played it vanilla and it ran fine for me.
Did-
I was able to run through downtown. And it was nice. But
Did you usually have
played it through
stuttering
the-
problems downtown there on the east side of town?
Well, usually when I had a very modded playthrough, as soon as I got anywhere near at the NIT or MIT or
On the north
CIT,
side of
yeah.
town, then, yeah.
CIT, I would crash. So there was, I would get to a certain point in the railroad quest where they're like, you got to go to a certain point to I forgot what it was, do the beacons that you got to set up for them or whatever. But I'd always go to a certain
right.
point, it would just crash. And I don't know if that was just the mod list but I always had some stuttering going on over there, and playing it vanilla after the update, I had no issues. So it was kind of nice. And I played through it, a nice full playthrough, got a few achievements that I missed after the mods came out.
right.
I just never looked back.
Right, and you had just played the year before in survival with us, so it hadn't been that long. Yeah.
No, so, but yeah, and playing the Starfield right now. After the Shattered Space, I have a feeling I'll be right back at Fallout 4 again.
Most likely, yeah. We all
That's
come
how-
home somewhere.
It's always that rotation. And with Starfield now, that's added to the rotation, but there's
Right,
always
we've got a third in the rotation.
Skyrim, Fallout. Every now and then I hit back to Oblivion because that
Mm-hmm.
was my first Oblivion was the first one that got me into Bethesda. So I always go back and mess around with that for a while.
Yeah. I mean, obviously with the podcasts, we're all playing Fallout all the time, at least somewhat, if not, multiple. But I have played one or more Bethesda games every year since 2013. And I mean, that's, kind of what we have. And I say that because I think I skipped 2012. No, Skyrim was 2011 and 2012. So yeah, every year since 2011.
Skyrim came out 2011, 2012, 2015, 2018, 2021, 2022.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously like Morrowind playthrough in there, Oblivion playthrough in there, like we all just keep playing them and they keep adding more to the pile. So now we've got 3 series. We've got a good, 8, 9 games to choose from. It's bountiful.
I mean, they know how to
Todd
make
is
a game
good.
and they know how to make a game to be able to replay. Like a lot of games you play, it's like, all right, play it through it once, maybe twice, and I'm done with it.
Mhm.
Not these games.
No, not these games. Wacky, but true. Even other RPGs I love, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, obviously that kind of thing, Fable.
Mm-hmm.
I've played through them, 2 or 3 times, but it's not like a constantly replaying. It's not the world of infinite possibilities, different character builds, different role plays, all that. It's not the same as a Bethesda game.
Like I played through Knights of the Old Republic, the Star Wars game from Xbox a couple months ago, and halfway through I'm like, all right, it's the same thing. It's, you can either play the dark side or the light side. It's the same thing.
Right.
And these,
Yeah.
one of my favorite games of all time, but it's like I don't know if I could play through it again.
Witcher 3, one of the most epic games of all time, but I played the hell out of it. I don't need to play it again unless, going into do a DLC playthrough, because Geralt is Geralt every time. Or Witcher 2, you got one playthrough with Yorvith, one playthrough with Hat Dude, I forget his name, and you've done it all.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they know how to keep us coming back.
And what was the first system you had at home, Jeff?
My first system, NES.
Nice. He goes all the way back to me, yeah.
All the way back, yeah. Good old Mario Brothers Duck Hunt 2-pack, the only game I had for the longest time.
Yeah, my cousins had the Atari, so I was jealous.
My next door neighbors had the Coleco. We used to play Smurfs on the Coleco.
The Coleco Vision, right? That's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Jess, you were trying to get us back on course.
I'm
or
just
something.
saying, we're hitting a little bit of everything tonight because Andrew and I have so little gameplay. So people are wondering, wait, why aren't they jumping onto their gameplay yet? We have very little. I haven't talked to Jeff in a year, so it's just good gaming talk all around for sure. I guess the only other Fallout-related thing I want to ask: played any more Fallout trivia lately? I seem to recall.
Oh, right.
You also won some Fallout trivia a couple months ago.
Yeah, a couple months ago, my wife and I and a couple of friends went up to the local bar that does just random trivia, and we took home first place in the Fallout trivia.
That's great.
And I would have been so ashamed if we came home with less than first place.
Represent.
Was this?
Yeah, we got some cool little prizes.
Was this after the show or before the show?
Yeah, it was right after the show where it was most popular, but everybody there probably were all new. There was some good competition, but there were a few that were new fans. But we won by maybe 1 or 2 points. It was a close one.
Which ones did you miss, Jeff?
I don't really remember. There was really not many. I think I do remember I blanked on the Red Stag. I blanked on the name of the Red Stag.
Whoa, I haven't.
I don't know how I did, but that was one of the
radiated deer, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Glowing Bambi.
Yeah, there was 1 or 2 that we missed.
When you're on the spot, it's always so much harder. People are really good at Jeopardy at home on their couch.
Especially with the group we were with. It was me and my wife. My wife knows some Fallout. And then our friends, they play a little Fallout too, this and that. But out of the 4 of us, I was the Fallout expert.
It was so Jeff's game.
Pressure was on me. But it was a good time.
That's really fun.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
All right. Sounds good. Hey, before we get too far away from you here, Jeff, a couple of months ago now, I was cleaning out, some stuff in my basement, getting rid of old DVDs and stuff, and I came upon a Trailer Park Boys box set, and I was like, oh man, I bet
Oh,
you
yeah.
Jeff would be really into that. He really likes Trailer Park Boys. He even mentioned earlier in the show that the other podcast you've been on is a Trailer Park Boys podcast. That's really awesome. What is what's that all about? I mean, I know it's about Trailer Park Boys, but you just kind of wandered on their show too.
Yeah, it's called Getting Greasy. It's been done for a
that's
few
great.
years, but there's just these there are two stand-up comedians and a friend of theirs from Oklahoma that just get around and get drunk and talk, episode to episode about the show. And they the hosts of it surprised the other two guys on it because I've been a fan and I'm vocal in their community too.
Great.
And I ended up popping on for their Christmas special episode a couple years ago. It was the one where they're reviewing the Christmas special from the old where Bubbles got his bubble maker and all that stuff. So
Oh.
that was fun. But yes, I do. I did get your it was the lunchbox with the I think it was season 1 through 7 collection of the Trailer Park Boys, and I got that along with one of your CDs and all that stuff. I really, really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Is
very
that where
much.
like they broke and went to Netflix after that era?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Season 1 through 7 was the like Canadian run on Showcase, and series was over for a while, and then Netflix bought them out, and they came back season 8
picked
through like
back up,
12 or
right.
13 or something like that.
That's great. Yeah. No. My wife. She really likes the show. I really like the show too, but she just started. She's like, I need a new show, and I was like, oh, Trailer Park Boys. So she started watching Trailer Park Boys over from episode 1 earlier today, and
That's
we
awesome.
got a new kitty, and she wants to name it Bubbles after the character in Trailer Park Boys.
That's awesome.
He's a good boy. Yeah. So that's it's really fun. All right, guys. Let's check in with Jess. See if Jess has been playing any video games this week. Jess, did you find any time for video games?
Second week in a row with not a whole lot of gameplay to add.
No.
Yeah, nope. What can I say? I got in some Fallout, of course. I'm still building on PlayStation, finalizing that camp, leveling up a little over there, but not much. The scoreboard right now, man, I haven't progressed in 3 weeks on the scoreboard. Like maybe I've gotten 2 or 3 ranks. Might as well be scored higher. I'm probably like 22 or 23. Like it's pretty low, pretty sad. It could be worse. I could be you guys, but hey.
Hey, I'm like
Right.
accidentally level 4 or 5 now, just because I've been trying to stumble through this caravan thing.
It's like a golf score. Ray wins. He's got the least of any of us. But yeah. So I played a little 76. I've been in there for things, but not anything worth talking about. No real highlights. I did get to join someone on their stream the other night and did some fun filming with them. Just that sort of thing. But yeah, I've just been really busy with a project outside of work. So.
Oh no.
I was in Starfield too. I should actually say briefly, besides, the 76 play, I was in Starfield briefly, just checking on my character, making sure things are good, grabbing some pictures, just kind of figuring everything out, taking stock, because we are just 3-4 days away from the release of Shattered Space on Starfield. Now, I wanted to finish Fallout London first. I haven't touched Fallout London in 3 weeks because just too much other stuff, too busy right now. But I'm going to play Shattered Space before I finish Fallout London at this rate. There's just like no way. But the good thing is, because I can't wait that long on Shattered Space, but the good thing is Shattered Space is on, and Starfield is on my Xbox, And yeah, I can play Starfield both places. It's Play Anywhere. And I do sometimes get my best photos. As much as the Series X, I can take great photos and Fallout in some games, just as much as PC. I do have to say, Starfield on PC, I can get crisper photos. Like my crispest, most colorful photos are definitely on PC.
That doesn't surprise me. I assume the graphics card is a lot better on a PC than it is on an Xbox,
Oh, yeah.
probably.
Yeah, I'm getting higher resolution, better graphics. I can use different textures, you know what I mean? So I can let it chug a little bit on the PC if I have to. If I want to turn everything up to the 9s and let it be a little bit slow, but still great for pictures, That's what I do. That's what I did my 76 back in the day too. Now it runs fine, but the first 2-3 years of 76, my PC install definitely chugged a little bit compared to Xbox. But I would turn everything up to max so I could get great pictures that way. So, that's fun. But yeah, so Starfield, I did all that. And because it's on Xbox, I'm sure I'll be playing Shattered Space there. And then I can play London on the PC. And so I will progress in London again. I should be done with the project I've been working on in a week or two. It's a long-term one, but I'm excited. Can't wait to tell people about it. Beyond that, that's it. That's it. No indie games. No little kitty, big city. Cat out there getting me a Chivos.
Oh, pretty kitty.
Yeah. Kitty, I know. Poor kitty. Poor kitty wants to get home, and I haven't paid attention to him for a week. All my little indies. I'll have time again soon. Won't be long. And meanwhile, I appreciate people like Jeff coming on. People like Solior the other day and Will, who've actually been playing the games.
Oh, yeah. What version is the wrong word? What pack or whatever did you get for Starfield when you pre-ordered it? Did you get like the one with all the downloads, or not downloads, the DLCs included, etc.?
Yeah, so I got an advanced copy, as you guys know, a couple days ahead, which I didn't actually have to pay for, which was very nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I did ultimately get the premium edition, so that I could, so that I had, obviously I already have Shattered Space, and I think the majority of our listeners and a lot of people we know did as well, because even if you had Game Pass, if you wanted to play 5 days early, you had to get that premium edition, right? So people got Shattered Space with that. They got their little bonus items, but really it was all about that 5 days earlier.
That's what I did, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think a lot of people have Shattered Space already because somebody did it. Now, depending on if you're on, if you have the Steam version, the Xbox Store version, Game Pass version, however you have it, it may or may not show owned on your Xbox when you check it. It will when Shattered Space releases, and we can go over the release times in Iguana Bits. But just so people know, it is Monday, most regions. Some of our listeners in New Zealand, Australia, are actually getting it on Tuesday. It's going to be October 1st for you. So it's officially September 30th, but we'll go over the release time. It is going to be a simultaneous release across time zones. So just be aware. Don't move to New Zealand to play earlier because it won't work. Won't work this time.
Don't jump your Xbox to the Oceania time zone, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, Starfield, fun. That's me. How about you, Andrew?
Did you pre-order it on your PC as well, or did you get it?
The neat thing about Play Anywhere, Xbox Play Anywhere, is if you own on one system, you have it on the other. Yep. And I mean, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, obviously you have it on both anyway. So that's true. If I had bought it just Xbox, no, I could play that version through the Microsoft Store version. Yeah. Even without
you know
Game
what?
Pass.
Xbox doesn't only, Microsoft doesn't only make Xboxes. There's the other things they make called computers. I forgot totally about that other half of their business.
Yeah, they have a pretty high install base.
Yep.
I mean, they make Windows more than they do PCs. They make PCs too, but obviously other manufacturers make them mostly.
Right.
But yeah. And I mean, Steam is a separate platform. It's its own thing. So you don't have a Steam copy by default if you have an Xbox copy, but you would have a Play Anywhere Microsoft copy.
Very fun. And you said Monday night, Tuesday?
Yeah. Yep, we'll go over that time. And yeah, so Lee mentions, he noticed on Xbox it wasn't clear if you had Shattered Space or not. I do think, while it doesn't say own for everyone, I think you can actually get in there and check the store for it, maybe even preload it. I'm not sure if you can preload it, but I think you can preload it or do a flag. I've had people who tell me it doesn't show that they own it. But then when they go in and they play with something, either in the menu or in the store, it then shows that they own it. So I don't know what that setting is. I haven't had time to play that myself.
Okay.
But it will be there for everybody who has the premium or have bought it on Monday.
So if I remember right, Fallout 4 kind of trickled a few small ones out, and bam, Far Harbor, a huge one, and
Yep.
maybe another couple small ones, and then boom, Nuka World. And,
Yeah.
and that
Automatron,
was it,
Wasteland
right?
Workshop, Far Harbor,
What can
Conveyors,
we-
Contraptions.
What can we expect for Starfield and the like number amount versus size of content of new stories and new
I'd expect at
areas,
least 3.
etc.?
But they're doing a very different method now because games have changed. Even in just 8 years, games have changed. So we've gotten some major updates, maps and new things, the Trackers Alliance we're talking about, the whole official mods, creations kind of concept. A lot of those individual components could have been DLCs before. You would have gotten equal to, say, the Vault 88, 88 DLC, or the Automatron DLC. Now you get the Trackers Alliance DLC with a couple of quests, a new faction to talk to, blah, blah, blah. So, but they don't do that anymore. Now that's rolled out with the updates for the most part. So think about how many times Starfield has been updated since we started. It's not all patches, but we got maps. We got a vehicle. A vehicle would have definitely been an update with a few things before, So what they're doing, we're getting Starfield now, and they said they're committing to at least once a year and sticking with it for a while. So I expect to get at least 3. Rumor has it, for those who don't know, rumor has it, the next DLC is going to be called Starborn. They did go and do a trademark
Rumor has it he's the one I'm leaving you for.
filing on that. I'm not sure if it's trademark, but something similar on the name Starborn, just to reserve it. And yeah, so there's possibly something happening there. Obviously, we know this one's Shattered Space. And the way they've talked about supporting it for multiple years, I don't think they just mean 2. I think they mean longer. And that's what they want. They regret not doing that so much for Skyrim and Fallout 4 losing momentum. Because Fallout 4, it started out great. That had a little bit of, some people weren't happy with it. And then it was making a pretty hard comeback, Far Harbor and Nuka World. And, after the voice protagonist controversy died down a bit, and then they just stopped. And they lost that momentum. And everyone went back to New Vegas. So you don't want to do that with Starfield.
If the time between games and their sequels is just steadily increasing, will I be alive when Starfield 2 comes out?
No. Well, I mean, sorry, Andrew. I'm not foretelling your death and doom or anything. But I don't know. There's going to be a Starfield 2.
2072.
I don't know. I think Starfield is not a Starfield 2 game unless, a couple decades in the future.
If it makes enough money, it's definitely the sequel type game. You know what I mean? That's how the machine works.
Maybe, but they've got Fallout and Elder Scrolls, and maybe other ideas percolating up there.
Did they make money on Starfield, do you think? Was it successful, a highly successful release?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes. It sold very well. I mean, it's not ultimately Skyrim level, and it may or probably won't ever get there. Skyrim's the best-selling first single-player RPG of all time. All time.
It's hard to live up to your number one hit. You know what I mean?
There was no Game Pass when Skyrim came out, so
right,
that too. It a lot.
Yeah, but they definitely made money on Starfield. It definitely did well for the company, and they are definitely supporting it.
Speaking of the games changing themselves, but the industry has also evolved a lot. Like you were just saying, like Game Pass and stuff. How do they incorporate their sales numbers with Game Pass? Are they allowed to say plays on Game Pass count as a sale according to our numbers that we report or whatever?
That's why they talk about active players now. They talk about active players more than they talk about sales. But if they count a download as a sale, and they know they've had over 20 million, what have you. So but it's different accounting. So there are still sales. Keep in mind, even if something's on Game Pass, there's still plenty of sales. People on Xbox, despite their reputation, still buy games. I know, ridiculous, right?
Don't.
Not everybody does Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate. And some people like to own their games beyond, and they buy physical versions, and there's other platforms.
Only idiots do that.
There are physical sales, and then there's a window. From what I understand, the way Game Pass works, in the launch month and subsequent maybe launch months for DLC and stuff like that, they get a certain percentage of the Game Pass income registered to them based on sales. So they still have, the game has made this much money in this amount of time. We got another, 2 million Game Pass subs in the lead up to the release of Starfield and that month and the month after. So this is money they made. They do, and I'm not privy to it, but they've talked about it a few times during the trial with Activision and other things.
Yeah.
That they do have an accounting method that does allocate some of the money coming into Game Pass from games, but it's also about that money you can count on. You know, with 35 million Game Pass subscribers, at last count, last official word, around 35 million Game Pass subscribers, they know they're getting this certain amount of money every month, and they've got to support how many studios now with that, like what, 32, however many it is. So it is different. It's an overall ecosystem, and they have to kind of figure out what's making money, what isn't, and it's hard, right, Jeff? I see you shaking your head. It's got to be complicated to know who's profitable and who isn't in some ways.
I'm glad I'm not the guy that has to figure that out.
Yeah, and then you got sales on PC, and then you got some Xbox games going to PlayStation, which I don't know that Starfield will. It's a valuable exclusive, but there is a chance that Elder Scrolls 6 will, with Xbox's new attitude and the fact that there's a major history of the Elder Scrolls franchise on PlayStation. If it does, good for them. I don't want to keep it from anybody. I might have feelings about certain things. But yeah.
The way I see it is this: we're going to share ours, they need to share theirs. Like, we need some Final Fantasy VII remake. We need, some of their exclusives over on ours.
I'm glad Square Enix is loosening up. We just got the Pixel remasters. The Final Fantasy Pixel remasters came out on Xbox yesterday.
I saw that. I did see that.
Yep. Super hot. And we're getting the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake in November. The Tokyo Game Show that Xbox just had earlier this week, they did their 1 hour presentation. Some good stuff there. Heavily focused on JRPGs, of course, but other stuff. That's where they revealed that Fallout 76 is having pets finally. That the pets update is finally coming. We're gonna get puppers.
How long?
We're gonna
have
get
they been talking
catos.
about that?
About 4 years. That it was first on the roadmap 4 years ago. Yeah, and then 2 years ago they told us they were giving up, but nobody gave up. It's funny because they said they're putting on the back burner some of these ideas, the 4-star legendaries, the pets. They made an official announcement that this, with the way it's currently structured, the way they're doing things, it's a side project. It's no longer a project they're officially working on. If someone has time, they'll work on it, but it's not official. Well, somebody found time to work on it, and now it's official again, and it's been announced. So that's awesome.
Huzzah.
Nice.
It's just going to be another animal in a different cage, right?
Actually, no, wandering around your camp, interacting, all that, but probably not a companion with you. Like, it's not like your dog meat around the wasteland, no.
It's my robo dog I have at my camp. I already have one of those that wanders around. This isn't anything new.
Yeah, but you don't interact with him. He doesn't get all cute and hump. I'm sorry.
Yes,
did I
he
say
does.
hump?
You
I mean,
don't know what he
jump
does
up
at
on
night.
your couch. He doesn't jump on your couch, and he does
Hump up on my couch.
snuggle
Come
in, get pets and scritches and do tricks.
Yeah, he loves
Cute
his
little cat
scritches.
bed.
Oh boy.
Sorry, you got me on a tangent there because no gameplay.
I know. I try to get you on tangents. That's my job.
You do, because even though I haven't had time to game, yes, I did watch the Tokyo Game Show. Yes, I did watch all my Xbox news. You got to keep up.
What's the Tokyo Game Show?
Oh, that's, just a big Japanese game show for the industry. A lot of places have their game shows. TGS has had some big years, some not so much. Xbox doesn't always have a presence there. This year they had a big presence there again.
I thought you meant like game show, not like show about video games, but like
Oh,
Wheel of Fortune.
come on
like,
down to the
yeah.
Tokyo Game Show.
it's like because Japanese culture, kind of has these awesome game shows. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah, no,
That's-
I'm
that's
picturing
right-
UHF
that's
and the Wheel
right
of
where
Fish right now.
That's right where my
Red
brain went.
Snapper.
I was like, "Ooh, Japanese game show. This sounds awesome."
You're so stupid.
Red Snapper.
I love that movie.
Yep, that's
That's
great.
classic.
Bunch of Weird Al fans here. Love it.
Yes.
All right, you guys. My gameplay is very quick. I attempted the caravans a couple weeks ago, remember? And I just kind of completed too early, and I figured out, it's because I'm joining someone else's. That's why, I don't know. I didn't really do it, and it only lasted a few minutes. And Jess was like, "Oh no, this is much longer, more involved." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I'm gonna go try to launch it myself this time. See if I can get make it work. So I go into the internal cell there, talk to the lady there, Marley. Yeah,
Yeah, she wears the chain she forged in life.
that's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
So I get it all started and everything, but then I decided I wanted to take a look around this facility here and just like look at some stuff and like see if I can dig around in any containers and just like look at the new environment a little bit. And before I left, like a quest marker popped up above her head again, so I was like, oh, okay, here, let me go talk to her again. And then I talked to her and it completed the quest. It's like, wait a second, I didn't even start it. Hang on, what happened here?
Yeah, it should have said it launched your caravan, and you go travel to your caravan. You see on the map, it'll say.
Yeah, it's like, we really need your help. Oh my god.
Your character's name Caravan.
We can't do
by the
this
way,
without you. Oh, you'll be such a big help. Oh, please do
Yeah.
it. And then I like paused for 2 minutes, and it was like, oh, thank you so much. That was great. Here's your reward.
I wonder if someone else. I think other people might be able to start your caravan. I thought it waited for you, but maybe it waits for you, but other people can start. I'm not clear on that yet because I haven't been playing as much as I should the last 2 weeks. But also,
I still can't figure it
I
out.
gave some bad info last week. So when it starts, it shows your character name Caravan. So like it says Jess's Caravan for me, which you know that's accurate. But it might say for you like, what's a fun character name you've had, Andrew?
Goober Boober.
Yeah, so it says Goober Boober's Caravan. You're like, oh my god, Goober Boober's Caravan? Only you see that. Everybody else sees your gamer tag Caravan. So you're seeing Goober Boober, you're seeing Marley and me, but they just see, Jessica Star 77. So
Boring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you said that last week, I was like, that is awesome. Why? I wish this whole time they would have displayed my character. That makes the role-playing aspect thing so much more part of it. If like you walk in and people are like, oh, look, it's your character name instead of, oh, look, it's it's Lord Bong Rip 2478621.
wow, Lord Bong Rip. I'm honored. I'll help your large caravan. Oh my goodness.
You got to put like Daddy and Vader and Weed in it, and then you're hitting all the notes.
It's funny because like the system's cracked down on gamer tags that are too lewd, but there are plenty that slip through for a while. But Chad is confirming that yes, others can find your Brahmin and start the quest, so they can do that. And Solar mentions that you can see the names of the Brahmin at least. So if you don't know, you can name your Brahmin for the caravan. You do that when you recruit Josie to your outpost. My Outpost 0, you can recruit different traders we talked about. Some of them upgrade your Brahmin strength and blah, blah, blah. But you can name your Brahmin.
I remember Solior was talking about maybe decorating that internal cell that we were in. Is that how that works with your rewards and stuff?
Yeah, as you get supplies, you hire people.
And she started that conversation too. So I was like, I haven't done anything yet, lady. So I don't know. I'm going to try again, you guys. Maybe
try again.
Third week in a row, maybe we'll get it done. Let us know what you guys think, community. There was mention of us when Ray gets back of trying to do a stream of it to actually walk Andrew the fuck, hold my little baby hand, walk me through it to make it fucking work, please. Because, oh, Jesus.
Brahmin train, let's go.
Pull the Brahmin train with the Fallout feed.
Yep, we'll get dysentery on the way, but we'll make it.
That was the bulk of my gameplay. Broken Caravans. I did start up Shelter today, and I did that super fucking dangerous thing where you accidentally leave it running and walk away.
Oh, no.
That can, and has in the past, ended in fucking disaster where you come back
on a survival vault, yeah.
Yeah, 50 people are dead, and you're like, oh, fuck. But luckily, no one died. So uneventful. I don't even know why I mentioned it, but I almost crapped myself when I walked back into the room and saw the screen up. I was like, "Oh my god!" But as crisis averted. I need to play more castles too. That's going to be a goal this week.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. You play some castles. I'll play some castles. We'll compare notes. Jeff will play castles. We'll hear about it.
Let's make it Castles Week, everybody.
I'll dive in.
When is that coming to Xbox? Have we heard any inklings of that yet?
Not a thing. I probably need to be successful on phone first. So,
I seen an
Is it-
advertisement on Xbox the other day.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was advertised. You click it, it says you can get it on
Get on your
Android now, and it's got
phone, yeah.
QR codes. Yeah, trust me. The second I saw that, I clicked it. I'm like, yes. And no, no, it's not on Xbox.
They know
That's
how to
funny
use.
though. Is it being
What?
successful? Does it have shelter-esque numbers or not?
I don't know that it has those numbers yet, but I do think it's doing pretty well.
Because I know shelter is fucking bonkers numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
that,
we have
that is my gameplay.
we have Lee checking in from London. I think we got a terminal velocity from Lee ready to go.
We absolutely do.
Charlie's Terminal Velocity Logs, Tape 4, Underground Service Desk Terminal. Found a terminal in an underground station that appears to be related to underground train service in the city. The first display contains a banner that states, Underground Service Status. Last message received found out recently that the Americians oddly note dates in month, day, year order rather than London's much more sensible day, month, year order as used here. We will presume that these messages are from the pre-war period of the 2070s. 11/10/77. With the ongoing uproar in the city and the state of global occurrences, it is recommended that you keep your Protect and Survive booklet on you at all times in the event of nuclear annihilation. A reminder that the Protect and Survive program is in place for your safety. Refer to the relevant page for information that may assist you in your survival during the worst possible outcome. Interestingly, there is no indication of who sent this message. 14/10/77. Hello, Simon. We may presume that Simon is the former user of this terminal. These bloody leaks in the tunnels are killing us. It seems the entire Southwark south side of the Thames is logging the water beneath it. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with the fracking situation in Croydon, but it's like the land beneath it is ready to slip at any moment. Yeah, it's a distance away from us, but I can't help but think it could affect the rest of the city. Our best bet is pinning some of the structures in some kind of attempt to repair the current damage. If we aren't careful, some of the tunnels could come tumbling down on our heads. Might get the week off if that happens, though. Thank fuck. Although this last word was obscured by a barnacle, it was rather obvious. 16/10/77. Let me know how the situation is up there. Regards, Mickey. Not sure if this indicates they had a cave-in or other precipitating incident. 19/10/77. Hello, Simon, my love. I don't know if you've seen anything about the cute Thulu dolls sold by Sunny Delights. They're adorable. I'll have to pick one up for the kids. They'll love it. They aren't too expensive as well, considering. Just have to hope the dog doesn't chew up this cuddly toy. Last time that happened, Charlotte cried for weeks. From Claretta. If I find such a toy, I'll have to see what my canine friend Churchill thinks of it. The final entry oddly contains no date. This is a warning that all utility tunnels spanning tube access A05B, A04B, and CW01A have been closed to all personnel until further notice. This is due to cracks in the tunnel's reinforced concrete structure. This notice is for your own safety. I will now post this tape to your classified address.
To participate in the Fallout Terminal Velocity project, send your special letters, holotapes, and terminal entries to thefalloutfeed@gmail.com.
Who sent that survival message that told them to keep their handbook on them? Who sent it?
That's a good question. Did you know the Protect and Survive program in London was a real program?
Protect
I think
and
we might have
Survive?
talked about it when the game came out, but it's based on, there was actually a series of pamphlets and instructional films called Protect and Survive in England in the 70s. I think they did like 20-some films for it. Some of the musical intro that you hear and the overall look of the family that's used in the Pip-Boy and stuff like that from the Protect and Survive family, that's actually taken from the real
Nice.
stuff used in England in the 70s.
Oh, that's great.
Cool.
Yeah, it had a real impact, and it was really, honestly, compared to the Fall Boy stuff that we have and all those pre-war films that are all, parody and made up. The Protect and Survive stuff is actually rooted in real culture, even more than classic Vault Boy. Looking up about it, the band Jethro Tull recorded a song called Protect and Survive. Just thought that would be interesting.
Cool.
It's affected a lot of music. Yeah, they say people sampling stuff from the Protect and Survive stuff throughout the 80s. Yeah. Oh, and okay, Frankie Goes to Hollywood had a song Two Tribes that used a narration from one of the videos too. So a lot of stuff. Anyway, real thing. I thought that's cool, and I like that they have it laid on the terminals.
And also, I noticed he was talking about fracking around the Thames. Is that one of the sort of eco disasters that helps turn London into a wasteland? Was it bomb drops? And because 76 is more eco disaster than, well, fuck. Now they introduce bomb drops, so now it's both. I guess, but in 76 it used to be more eco disaster than actual direct contact from nuclear warhead. You know what I mean? Was London, was that is there a ground zero bomb drop or eco disasters, or that is the fracking a big deal, or
in
no?
Fallout lore it was hit differently? I mean, obviously less of it was damaged by bombs. They weren't as heavily bombed as the US and China. But I think there were bombs all around. There is, obviously they were affected by the radiation and all that. But a lot of London stands in the game, and in the lore, I don't think that they were necessarily hit as, certainly not as much.
So what is the giant irradiated pit, the glowing sea type thing that Ray was mentioning on? Oof, was that on our show, or that might have been on? That might have been
no,
on
it was on ours,
show.
and I'm forgetting the name of it right now. So no, we'd have to wait for Ray or Will,
Ray,
or
where are you, guy?
Someone who's played more, or Steve. Yeah, haven't gotten far enough in London to know all these places yet.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Lee. Coming up, we've got some from Solior, like I mentioned. So we'll get those in the next couple of weeks. Stick around for more Fallout Terminal Velocity. But after Solior's, we'll need some more entries. So if anyone out there is interested to participate, please hit us up. Love to have everybody involved. So, you know what time it is, you guys?
What time is it? Game time!
Let's play a couple games. What do you say?
Awesome.
All right. This is a quickie, one you're familiar with. It's been called Mapalachia. It's been called Mapital Wasteland. It's been called, I don't know, I'm stretching here for...
You've had a few.
For Far Harbor here. So instead of the Vim Pop Factory, this is the Vim Map Factory. Is that too big of a stretch?
Yes.
Damn it.
But I like Vim, so I'll allow it.
She'll allow it. Thank the Lord. All right, so we're going to play Mapalachia, Mapital Wasteland, but we're doing Far Harbor. All right, let's do it here. Jeff, which is further north on Far Harbor Island? Longfellow's Cabin or Dalton Farm?
Longfellow's Cabin?
Ooh, we're going to miss. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jeff.
No, it's Dalton Farm.
Dalton Farm, Jess, further south. The Grand Harbor. Wait, I said that wrong. The Harbor Grand. God, is it really Harbor Grand? I wanted to say Grand
The Harbor Grand, yep.
The Harbor Grand Hotel or the Cranberry Supply Shed. The Harbor Grand Hotel or the Cranberry Supply Shed.
This is a hard one because Cranberry Supply Shed, that's just a tiny location. Now, the Grand Harbor Hotel is infested with mutants.
Yeah, it's got all the super
on the
mutants
southern
all
side, a little
over
bit
the
east of
place.
Southwest Harbor. It's on the southern side of the island, but it's not out on the islands below the island. So I think the Cranberry Shed is. So I'm going to say the Cranberry Shed.
Absolutely. Good job, Jeff.
Yes.
All right, back to you, Jeff. Further east, Beaver Creek Lanes or the MS Azalea?
Oh, I love Beaver Creek Lanes. That's one of my.
It's a
favorite
fun
locations.
location.
It really
It's
is a good location,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome. You get that cool
The
launcher.
whole story.
Yeah.
The whole story about that the bowling ball launcher. I love that story.
It's a good one. And
what was the other
MSLZ, yeah, everyone knows the big shipwreck on the eastern shore there.
And you said further
Further
East.
east, the shipwreck
I'm gonna go
or
with
the bowling
I'm gonna go with the
alley?
shipwreck.
The shipwreck is further east. I was kind of almost tricking because the way the coast bends in there. They're pretty close if you look at them on the map there. But good job, Jeff. All right, Jess, back to... God, I'm using J's to mark your guys' things, and I just realized you're both fucking named J.
Use JE, that'll help.
Use J-E
Yep.
instead. That'll
that's-
solve the issue.
My siblings
I'm a
is Jeff,
fucking
Jess,
idiot.
and Jenny.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
We're all,
that's hilarious. I didn't realize that, but yeah.
All right. We're back to whoever is whose name begins with a J. Who's that?
This J.
You,
J.
Violent J.
Which is further west?
Further west, the Oceanarium or Echo Lake Lumber? The Oceanarium or Echo Lake
So once again, they're kind of close, you know,
Very
because the
close
Oceanarium's
they
north.
are. Yes, all
And
of these.
you know the
were
Oceanarium
relatively
was one of-
close.
It was one of my favorite locations because as a kid, you know, you would take field trips there in school.
Right, it's a
The
real
Oceanarium, you would-
place.
Yeah, you would hold a starfish. You would see like all kinds of sea creatures,
Yeah.
and you'd be like, "Ew, sea anemones are gross." And you know,
No, they're awesome.
yeah. But so I was excited to see that actually in the game. But I'm gonna say Echo Lake Lumber. That's a little bit further inland, even though it's south. So yeah, Oceanarium's further west.
No, it
Echo.
is Echo Lake Lumber. Sticks out on a little bit of the island that juts
It
out.
curves
to the west
out.
a little bit
Ah.
right there.
I tried.
And that is this week's edition of Mapalachia. Thanks for playing, everybody. But don't go anywhere because we have another edition of... What time is it? Game time. We're going to play as a special request. Not such a request, but maybe... get to an early shout out here to Calm Horizons, who is talking about how much he enjoyed the STP game last time. So I threw it together another quick version of skills, trait, or perk for you guys. Now I realize that it's pretty difficult to play it across all games at once because early games change how the system works in later games.
Right.
But
I
they
answered
pull-
76 a couple
Right.
times last week.
They pull names from early games that used to be traits but are now perks, etc. So now I realized, the way to do it is we are now playing skills, trait, perks for the game Fallout New Vegas specifically.
All right.
Okay?
In the notes, you put STP Fallout 3. Which one is it, Andrew?
What the notes of? I don't know. I think I updated it in my secret side notes that I use.
All good. I thought it was Stone Temple
gonna
Pilots
do
3 until just now. So
I think I was shooting for 3, but then I realized 3 was the first one that doesn't use all of the skills, trades, and perks. I believe. Is that
Right.
correct? Right. And 4 doesn't use traits or skills.
right,
I don't think there's traits of 4.
there aren't traits.
No
No.
traits. Okay.
No.
So traits are kind of a thing of the past, and that was the ones that give you like a bonus and a hindrance. I don't know what the
Although
word for
technically,
that is.
actually, 4 eyes is a trait. So maybe it's skills they don't have. God, that's so complicated. Skills, traits, and perks.
So yeah, it's
Perk-
it's a fucking
Perks
nightmare.
are on the chart. Traits
It's a
you pick during
nightmare, so
character creation. Yeah.
Let's play. Let's play a nightmare, you guys. All right, so we'll go here first. Jeff, since you are our guest, we'll let you have first swing here. Can you tell me in Fallout New Vegas, what is kamikaze? Is it a skill, a trait, or a perk? Kamikaze.
I think it's a perk. Kamikaze is a perk. No?
It is not. Jess, would you like to steal?
Sure. I will say then, if it's not a perk, it's definitely not a skill. So we'll go with a trait.
It is a trade. Good job, Jess.
Oh, all right.
All right, Jess. To you here. How about Rad Child?
Radchild is a perk.
Radchild is a perk. Good job, Jess. Jeff, back to you. How about barter? Barter.
It's a skill.
That is a skill. Good job, Jeff. Jess, back to you. How about cannibal? What is cannibal?
Oh, okay, that's funky. So, skills obviously in New Vegas are going to be like the more plain thing. The more like, can I lockpick? Can I barter? Can I riz this dude up? So, whereas
Riz this
cannibal is something like you can unlock or not. So, I'm going to call it a perk.
It is a perk. You guys are good. You're starting to bring logic to it. I don't know. The game might be over.
Oh
as soon as you start
no!
bringing logic
Oh
to
no!
the
Well, it
game.
depends on the game. Like you can narrow the game, we can pick a little better.
All right, Jeff. What is
Yes.
vigilant recycler? That's one I'd never fucking heard of.
Is
Vigilant
that a perk?
recycler. It is a perk, Jeff. Good job.
Good one.
What the hell does it do?
You probably got to be high level to unlock it, and nobody does. It probably helps you with the ammo because we're talking New Vegas where you do your shell casings and stuff.
Oh,
so probably
right.
with ammo. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. I think we're back to Jess here. How about small frame? Perk, skill, or trait?
That is a trait because you pick it when you start.
It is a trait. Good job, Jess.
Yes. I'm sorry, Calm Horizons, Matt. We're doing too good. We're doing too good.
You're smashing
He
it.
wants us to struggle.
Jeff, back to you, sir.
All right.
Science?
Yes. It's a skill.
Science is a skill. Good job, sir. Jess, back to you. Sneak. Is it a trait, a perk, or a skill? Sneak.
I'd like to phone a friend.
Phone a friend, please.
Hey, Ray, what do you do most of the time you play? Ray says sneak.
All right, Ray, you got that one right.
It's
Good
a
job,
skill.
Ray. And that is all I prepared. So good job. I think you guys
All right.
only missed one there. Kamikaze, right off the top. Anyone know what kamikaze is? What it does? have
I honestly
idea.
don't right now. It might be explosive related. I don't remember.
Has to be.
Jeff, you play a lot of New Vegas.
Occasionally. Is that I don't know what that is. It's got to be something to do with grenades, right?
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
so it's a trait in New Vegas that. Oh, okay. It gives you more AP. Kamikaze gives you more AP, but lowers your armor class. It lowers your damage, your DR.
Wait. Gives you more action points, but
Yeah, more AP.
lowers your damage resistance.
Yeah, because you're bum rushing. You're always just rushing into things.
Like
you're
a
all
dive-
kamikaze.
like you're dive bombing
So you're
or
not-
something. Huh.
Yeah, you lose protection because you're overexposed with your reckless nature.
Like giving yourself up to do damage to the other entity.
Twice cannon.
Yeah, but I had to look that up because I didn't remember the exacts. Obviously.
Yeah.
I was not
I
familiar
don't think
with
I've
that
ever
one. either.
taken it, so don't remember it.
Nope.
Well, thank you guys for playing. What time is it? Game time this week. And that means that we better gather our papers and get everything in order.
Jessica, to the office, please. Jessica, to the office. Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up.
She gets more impatient every week.
I'm sorry, but come and collect these bits, Jess. Well, guess what? Here I am. I'm collecting the bits. Notice, I haven't mentioned a while, but I get them in the office. Andrew did record that one time when I, said the office instead of the kitchen, instead of the bar. Nope. I get my fresh bits from the office, but that's because these bits are not delicious, tasty chunks of iguana, but they are delicious morsels of news for you.
Ew, gross.
we are- Shuffling our papers.
Give me the iguana, please.
Okay, let's see what I got here. Flipping through. Guess what? Double score. Double score, y'all. You want to not be like Jess and stuck at rank 20? You want to actually get something done? Double score is happening right now through September 29th. So that is what? Is that the 29th? Is that just Sunday? That doesn't seem right. Usually it goes till Tuesday.
Yeah, that's Sunday.
It might just be for the weekend. You might just get it through Sunday, maybe Monday at noon, most likely, if it says the 29th. But yeah, right now, double score, double mutations, and script surplus. Coming up, October,
Nice.
we are looking ahead to, yes,
I just said nice. Sorry.
yeah. We are looking ahead to a spooky camp competition. What does that mean? What does that mean? So, for the longest time, Bethesda has had their camp themes for building. Okay, you can submit on the Discord. They've been putting the themes on the calendar for, it's been about 3 years now. They started doing it originally in their forums. Then when they moved to Discord, they stopped for a little bit and they started doing it in the Discord. People can submit and, they'll feature your camp on their socials sometimes, blah, blah, blah. It's great. It's great. I really enjoy it. And I used to call it out regularly. I don't as much these days. Because, obviously a lot of our crew aren't active builders at the moment, at least for stuff like competitions. But there are still people participating. They usually get 30 to 50 submissions a month at least. But if you recall for QuakeCon, they did the summer camp competition, which had 3 categories, basic camp, large kind of camp with environs, and creative category, where you had to build a Pioneer Scouts summer camp inspired camp. And the winner of each category got 20,000 atoms.
That's a significant amount. Holy cow.
That is a lot of atoms. And so they had, I believe, I don't remember the exact count, but I think it was over 250 entries. I might have even been over 300 entries. So they had a lot of entries for that one. And they did the judging at QuakeCon, and it was a lot of fun. Well, it sounds like they're going to be doing a competition again right now. It's on the calendar as Spooky Camp Competition. The categories have not been announced, but in a similar vein, expect there to probably be 3 categories with a nice large amount of atoms giveaway. So, what will the categories be? It could be cute, spooky. It could be like, just a specific type of haunted house camp, like scary movie inspired, who knows? But there will be that coming up. So camp builders, get your fingers ready. Organize your build menu. Let's go. Beyond that, just further ahead in October, just a few things to mention. Again, Scorched. The Scorched start on October 22nd. So we got to get 3 weeks into the month before we get them. But then jingle, jangle, jingle. Also, invest in earplugs now, because every goddamn camp is going to have a goddamn candy bowl making noise very, very soon for the trick-or-treat event. And you're going to have to deal with it. And it's going to get stuck in your head. It's already in mine. I was, because I've been working on some projects, and some of them involved Halloween stuff. It was actually in my head so much I thought I heard it the other day. Like just doing stuff at my computer, not in Fallout. And I'm hearing the spooky camp music. It gets in your head.
I hate that.
Yeah. It's like the worst and the best, but the worst. So yeah, that'll be happening soon too. And then October 23rd is listed as Fallout Day. Now, just a reminder, Fallout Day, Bethesda's saying they're going to have some kind of festivities. It's going to be exciting. But they also did that post on socials, on Twitter, and on their news page and stuff, where they were asking people to submit a less than 30-second clip of you talking about why you love Fallout, or what you like about Fallout, why Fallout's special to you. Up to 30 seconds. I will drop that link in the Discord again. I heard through the grapevine that they have not got as many submissions as they wanted. So, they've gotten some for sure, but they would like more. And it doesn't have to be you in front of a camera sitting there going, hello, I like Fallout, because no, it can be your character. They'll take character videos. So if you want to film your character there, looking all fly, maybe roasting some weenies, maybe flipping a coin, doing some emotes, and just say, hey, I love Fallout 76 because that's where I met some of my best friends. Or, hey, I love Fallout 4 because, all the reasons why we do. There are so many.
Do we really have a roasting weenies pose?
Do you not have that in photo mode pose?
I don't know if I do. See, that's the drawback of not being on the ball all the time.
It's great. Yeah. You hunker down. I think got it on the scoreboard. It might have been a scoreboard emote win, or it might have been sold. Yeah. But you hunker down, you squat, and you get a little campfire too. It even gives you a campfire in the pose. You got a stick with a weenie, like roasted marshmallows. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's fantastic. Although I have seen some people, not naming names, who have used it for lewd purposes.
How dare they?
Yeah, it is a weenie. It is not a wiener. They are different. Anywho,
actually, they mean the same thing.
They do, depending on what you're talking about. But you know what I mean. Y'all get the inference.
Just means from Vienna.
So just want to mention that they are looking for submissions for that, and keep your ears peeled to find out what kind of goodies we're going to get on Fallout Day. I'm excited about that. What else has happened in the world of news? Well, 2 big things, honestly. We talked about some of it already, that we are on the precipice of the release of Shattered Space. So let me just quickly go over that for you. Sorry if I pulled away from the mic for a second. Global release times. Y'all, Shattered Space comes out on September 30th on 9:30 at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So for those of you East Coast, New York time zone, Buffalo time zone, Montreal time zone, okay, doesn't all need to be New York centric. 11 a.m. And everything's relative from there. So if you're in London, if you're in the UK waiting to play Shattered Space, that's going to be 4 p.m. your time. BST, 4 p.m. BST. If you're in Los Angeles, that's 8 a.m. LA time. For our friends in Australia, if you're in Sydney, 1 a.m. on the 1st of October. So see, I have to say it, all Australians are going to be it. So 1st October at 1 a.m. Or if you're in New Zealand, 1st October, 4 a.m. Auckland and New Zealand are going to be the earliest time to get it. 4 in the morning over there on the 1st. But yeah, so people have been asking for a while, when's it coming out? That is when.
Thank you for saying it properly, Jess.
You're welcome. Just trying to, make sure all of our listeners understand. Yeah, Green Dragon's in chat saying yay. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be 4 p.m. for you, I believe, Green Dragon, right?
See, and he
or
understood.
no, actually, no, you're New Zealand. 4 a.m. for you. Have fun. Let's see. So, accessing and starting Shattered Space. For those who've been wondering, wait, what level do I have to be? How do I start it? Do I need to finish the main quest? Here's your answers. We know the answers now. So I posited that you wouldn't have to get very far into the main quest, maybe just meet Sarah. The actual answer is you have to start the game and you must complete the introductory mission of the main quest. That's one small step. So that is what gets you off planet, gets you to meet the members of Constellation and get over, to Jemison and meet Sarah. One small step. After you complete one small step, the next time you hop to a system without an active mission or encounter. So say you hop to a system and go into orbit around Jupiter. And obviously, there's probably not an encounter or mission active there for you. The encounters, of course, are random. So like a ship could pop in, stuff like that. And an encounter would stop this from happening. But if there's no encounter popping in, random encounter, and there's no actual mission you're on putting you there, you will get alerted of a distress beacon. And that's I'm not doing spoilers here. So you'll get a distress beacon and it will tell you about a station and then the story starts from there. So that is how it starts. The recommended level, they have talked about it. The recommended level is 35 plus. So while you can start it right away at level 3 or 4 early on after you do one small step, they recommend 35 plus, which the vast majority of us are by halfway through to the end of the playthrough. Leveling gets slower as you go, but 30s aren't too hard. Beyond that, yeah, they just say 35 recommended for best experience. The recommended PC specs, basically the same. I don't see many changes just scanning it. They do recommend the RTX 2080 or Radeon 6800 XT, but minimum still works on like a 1070 or 5700. Or, if you're a coucher, #coucher, just play it on your Xbox. It works. Don't worry about that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to give away anything beyond that. There was a video about Shattered Space that has a little bit of a dev dive, a little bit deeper on the story. There have also released a couple of really cool animated shorts about, for instance, just like before the game came out, there was an introduction to the different factions. You got an introduction to Vanguard and the Rangers and Ryujin as a little animated. You remember those, Andrew? Like 2-3 minute little animated shorts?
From what again? Sorry?
For the launch of Starfield. They did animated shorts before the game came out, about a month before.
Just vaguely, though.
Yeah, I liked them, but they were kind of a good way to give you the story about it. Well, they did that again for Shattered Space,
I should watch
and it kind of shows you the event where it starts. And yeah, it's cool. It's emotional, and I'm really excited. The story for Shattered Space sounds great. As a reminder, they say Far Harbor sized. I think it's gonna be larger than Far Harbor sized. 50 locations on Far Harbor had 51, we counted last week. Far Harbor's 51, this has 50, but it's on the planet of Varun Kai, taking place in the city of Dazra, and sounds great. And of course, there's never been a better time to go back to Starfield, because we got vehicles, we got maps, we got creations galore. It's looking pretty good.
All right, now that it's been a year, almost, since I played, and I've totally forgotten all my shipbuilding tips.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are saying I'm actually going to be able to build ships now fairly easily?
They didn't make it easier. I mean, They did with some of the creations mods have improved that. You won't get achievements, but like there are more ship parts. There are things unlocked. They did do a few changes to shipbuilding in the base game. You can flip things differently and such now, a little more, but
All right, that's the goal.
but it's still the same menu. Jeff, question for you on Starfield. Did you feel that they made the shipbuilding camera backwards too, or was that just me?
I really had no problem with that. Like,
Okay.
there's times where you actually go under the ship where you feel really kind of lost and kind of backwards.
hmm
But generally, I have no problem with the camera.
Yeah, see, I like the camera normally on most things stuff, but in the shipbuilder, I just feel like up and down and side to side is reversed for me. Like almost like you're playing inverted, for whatever reason. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
I don't know.
I love it. So that's that's your Starfield Iguana Bits in the middle of a Fallout show. What are you gonna do? That's who we are.
I mean, those are the games we play.
In the world of Fallout, the new PTS notes have been released for the next iteration of the public test server for Fallout 76. So, of course, last one had Milepost Zero, which has released now for caravans that we need to show Andrew how to do. But the next big thing coming up,
I don't
as we
think
saw
it's
in the
my
reveal,
fault. It's
is
really
the
the-
Gleaming Depths. What, Andrew?
I'm sorry, I was yelling off in the distance. I don't think it's really my fault. I think it's glitching.
Right. No, obviously glitching. Here's the thing, okay? Andrew's probably right, but he probably also didn't experiment and test to figure out why it was glitching
No,
and try to do it a couple more
I
times.
did it one time, and I was like, "Well, that sucks," and walked away.
So, different methods for different people. The biggest thing that happens with it, beyond what Andrew's talked about, other people completing or what have you, is the never-ending caravan. Anyone who's had a never-ending caravan where you just keep going and it goes past the post and it just keeps going and eventually people just leave, it's usually because you're hurrying the Brahmin too much. If you hurry the Brahmin a ton and he gallops his cute little hiney past the checkpoint, then, it won't actually count the checkpoint sometimes, so he just keeps moving.
Don't rush my Brahmin.
Don't rush your Brahmin too often. A little bit, but don't go too often. But here we go. Gleaming Depths. So this is the new raid coming up where we saw they've got some kind of weird snake creature underground and all kinds of stuff going on. There are going to be a lot of changes with that. They're continuing the combat balance changes and now character build changes. So this is actually really big news. Any Fallout 76 players, stop and listen. Okay, you're going to hear about it more before it launches. But they are updating perks, not traits, not skills. They're updating perks. So your perk cards, there are some huge changes coming. So one of the biggest things they're doing, besides tweaking a few effects, is changing the number of ranks. So for instance, right now, say you have Cannibal. Cannibal has 3 ranks. It's going to only have 1. And it's going to increase the healing you receive and your hunger restored. And it's just 1 rank. Cap Collector, instead of 3 ranks, going to be just 1 rank. Okay? And now it applies to all containers, not just cap stashes, which Cap Collector was before, only cap stashes was kind of lame. First Aid. This is what almost everybody has mounted. First Aid, instead of 3 ranks, only 1. So they are essentially condensing all these perk cards from being 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, where you then rank them up to just 1 to allow more flexibility of builds, more cards active at any given time, and change the effect a little bit. Also, First Aid they're saying the stim pack healing is going to scale with your intelligence. So if you've got a 15 intelligence and a First Aid card, you're going to get more healing from your stim packs than someone with intelligence 7.
Are they really
So for
called
those of us
stim
who-
packs?
Pardon?
Are they really called stim packs?
Yeah, in Fallout, they are, yeah.
No, I thought you were talking about. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Starfield. Still, sorry.
No, this is all for Fallout 76. So I said,
Okay.
Fallout 76 players, listen, this is PTS coming up.
Ah, okay.
These iguana bits, they're coming at you fast, Andrew. 4-leaf clover from 3 ranks down to 1, and Mrs. and Vats contribute
Why-
to the critical meter based on your luck skill.
What are they making room for?
Basically, just allowing more flexibility in builds,
Just
more
more
cards at once,
cards?
and trying to
Weird.
get cards that aren't used as much to maybe be used a little more. But I could just keep
Okay.
going, which I know you don't love it when I said keep going, because then Andrew's like, well, why don't you? There are about 30 cards, so that's why I'm not going to. But I'm just calling out some big ones.
I could
Serendipity.
go on and on. Well,
Well,
Go
go
ahead.
on. I'm listening. But But Serendipity is one of the best cards in the game, where you
that
can,
one.
dodge attacks, and you get that chance. You get like 15, 30, 45%, going from 3 ranks to 1. And now it increases your evade chance while under 30% life based on your luck stat instead of going up each star level. So the cards do the same thing, but they're calculated differently. And it's going to be harder to min-max. Because before we'd be like, I'm going to have the best first aid, but I've only got 6 intelligence, okay? Because you're picking and choosing where you're putting your points. Now, if first aid is more effective with higher intelligence, which makes sense, now you can't min-max in the same fashion. So they're going to be new builds. We're going to be a big change, and that is in the PTS right now.
How will that affect, like, if that gets applied to our current characters? Will that just destroy everything, basically? We'll have to kind of tinker everything?
We'll find out during testing, but from what I understand looking at this, the effectiveness will change of our character builds a bit, yes. But it won't completely change it because most of them, while they're changing number of ranks and the way they work in a few cases, they're almost all similar. So, like, say, your explosives card or your first aid card you have mounted, it's still going to heal quicker by 1%, but that percent might change based on how you built it, but it will still improve. Starch genes. Remember starch genes, you needed 2. The first one, you could lose your mutation. Second, you couldn't. So you're like, I got to take it at 32 and 34 or whatever it is. Well, now only be 1 rank. So that's a major improvement.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
things are doing the same things, but some of them are changing. Now, the ones that will affect you, a few are changing category. Through Hiker is going to go from agility to endurance. Bullet shield.
Nice.
That I think that one reflects bullets, has a chance to reflect range damage, is going to go from strength to endurance. They're moving a few things to endurance because before endurance was all
That's the
food,
dump-
luck,
the
and
dump.
iron stuff.
Yeah.
Food, luck, no, food, drink, and like less of a chance of getting a disease while munching down on your sugar bombs. So they're fixing that.
There's a throwaway stat.
30% less chance to get a disease from an insect. Like, I'm not scared of that.
Endurance has some pretty lame stuff. Let's be honest. Like there were some okay ones in there, and then there were things like nocturnal. So, let's improve that.
How are they doing it? Like, are they making these available at the highest cost card or the lowest cost card?
So some will be as effective as the rank 3, even though they're going from 3 ranks to 1 rank. Some will be as effective as the max. Yep. And then others, they're changing how it's calculated. So like first aid, like I said, changing based on your intelligence.
But
So
but
they'll be calculated different.
aren't they like level locked? Like you have to. I forget. It's been so long since I've been a low level character in 76.
If something has 1 rank, it'll only take 1 rank to mount. So you might give the effectiveness of 3 stars, which would previously be 3 perk points, and now it will only be 1 or maybe 2.
And it's just based on how many stars you have on your specials, right?
Right. And so this is going to be simplified, so you can probably mount more cards is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But they might make
that'll be
some
fun.
cost more. Yeah, we'll find out. It's entering testing now. We already talked about how fire damage over time and poison damage over time have changed. It does seem to be a bit more effective right now. So if you enjoy fire damage over time, that's a little more effective than it was. Damage buffs. So they are actually buffing some damage, which is exciting. A bunch of weapons, especially pistols. That pistol build we always wanted to maybe be effective.
Is it now going to work?
Better. I mean, it's still gonna be like, dude.
It'll still not be great, but hey.
Yeah, why'd you bring a pistol to a fat man fight? But, like your 10 millimeter, your damage is going from base of 28 to 31. The 44 is going from base of 60 to 72. Like we're looking at 10 to 20% increases, but it's something for sure. Here's a good one. The Gauss shotgun, which at one point, the original Gauss was pretty cool, and then they nerfed it real quick, and it became pretty darn lame. They increased it a little bit. They went from 105 to 140, and now with this update, they're looking to go from 140 to 187. So, for those of you who care about numbers, sorry, the stats for nerds happening right now. But yeah, a lot of damage going up. That's good. More things go boom. Very happy.
They need to bring back, in that case, they need to undo the nerfing of the 2-shot perk where it, like, instead of being double damage, it, like, is 125% damage. That was stupid that they did that.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely changed some things, and we now know that you can have explosive on energy weapons, like legacies that we had been removed are now back, but they're no longer as tough as they were, and so that's kind of the change. Yeah, let me see. Two-shot mods, you can still get them, and they're split into groups by. We talked about the new legendary system. People are scrapping a lot. They're still having trouble. I've been told by some people who've been playing since the update. They've scrapped a couple hundred. They haven't yet learned how to craft a mod. I'm sorry. They definitely didn't make it easy. It's not Fashnacht mask drop rate. You're going to get mod boxes, but to actually learn to craft the mod, that is pretty rare. Mod boxes not too bad. You should be getting them every, 15 to 20 weapons, hopefully, that you scrap, or armor, weapons, whatever. Beyond that, they're adding some new accessibility features, which is actually kind of cool. I won't break down everything because it's just in testing right now, but they will have speech to text. So people who want to communicate with other players but don't want to speak over mic, you're going to have a speech to text option. So they will have, finally, like a lot of classic MMOs, an option to turn chat on, and people can talk and it can pop up and you can see chat. I'm sure there will be profanity filters and all the things that you expect, blah, 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 but they're testing that. Same with text to speech, where people who do want to communicate, and they can type and then have it, text to speech built right into the game. So we've got that. And they're doing some new things with UI navigation as well. I don't know all the details right now, but there should be a little bit easier. They're just trying to make it more accessible. For instance, how with fast travel, when you want to fast travel, if you start to fast travel, you want to cancel it, you got to press in both sticks at once, right? On a controller. Now they're going to make it so you only need one. So for people with accessibility issues who can't use both thumbs to do that simultaneously, they'll be able to fix that. So a lot of little things like that. Same with social menu. They're definitely doing an accessibility pass. So that was a lot of info at you guys there. But Starfield coming out with some good things, and some good things in the PTS. And let's see, the Atomic Shop. I don't think there's much new. I'm checking out the article. We still got the House of Tomorrow, which is basically building a sanctuary house in your camp, which is pretty awesome. And there are a lot of good things right now. The Abandoned Mine Kit is back. Okay, another tip for builders. The Abandoned Mine Kit wall is one of the best, because when you destroy it, it disappears. You want to do cool merges? You know how you can put down a wall and switch it to other styles? You put down the wall you want. You switch to the Abandoned Mine Kit. You destroy that, it disappears. You can now build stuff through it. You can then repair the wall, switch it back to whatever you want, and you've got a perfect merge without having to worry about windows or like beams in the way or anything like that, like you do with most walls. So Abandoned Mine Kit is a great one for merge and destruction flamethrower building. That's about it. I think that'll do, Pig. That was a lot of good bits. But that was more satisfying than I thought. Pigs are considered difficult to milk.
Did you know that?
That was not me. That was me from the past. Thank you, past Jess, for saying that phrase. Andrew could then record. Wait, was that pigs? Why are pigs difficult to milk?
I don't know anyone's ever tried. Have you ever heard of pig cheese or anything like that? Does that exist?
I mean, head cheese does, and that's made from pig heads, right? You know what? I just heard you can milk anything if it has nipples. We're all good. But that's all the bits for this week.
Evidently you can. Beautiful. All right. Let's see. Do we have some shouts on our way out the door? I already shouted calm prizes, but thank you for enjoying the skills, traits, perks, and just mentioning that. So a little hint to wink, wink, everyone out there. You express interest in aspects of the show, you might see them again.
It's true. It's true. People talk about screaming at your phone less. Now we don't scream at our phone as much anymore.
That is also true. Community-wise, warm congratulations to Alex, who our good buddy Nino announced his engagement to his lady the other day. So awesome! Couldn't feel happier for you, buddy. Congratulations!
Yeah,
congratulations!
Major congratulations. On the same lines, Miss Atomic, who many people know from her activity on Twitter and other places, Miss Atomic She and her fiance are getting married on October 23rd of this year for Fallout
No
Day.
way. That's awesome.
Yep, they met in game. For anyone who's been around the 76 community for a long time, her boyfriend is actually the guy who played Hammered Super Mutant, who was a Super Mutant roleplay character on PlayStation for years. He doesn't play as much anymore, but they met in 76, and yeah, getting married on October 23rd. How cool is that?
That's cool.
That's
Shout out to
very
all
nice.
you lovebirds out there. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to That Fallout Show. Obviously, everyone knows our friends Shalene and Vendor, and sometimes Rick. They did a show called That Fallout Show, and they have brought it back briefly to be able to, every few weeks, talk about the Fallout TV show. They thought it might just go a couple of months, but they've only been able to, maybe once a month do a Fallout show recording talking about the TV show. Well, they've got 7 down. The 8th episode will be coming up. I believe it's going to be October 11th, talking about episode 8 of That Fallout show, and I'll be on it with our friend Dave Chaffins.
Nice. Very
So just
cool.
going to join them again to kind of wrap up That Fallout show segment. They may do a few more. It may be back on hiatus 100%, or it may, be sticking around a little bit because people have been really enjoying it. So we'll wait for them to make that announcement if anything happens. But yeah, if you've been not listening or weren't aware, That Fallout show is back occasionally. And in October, we'll be talking about the final episode of the TV show.
Pigcorn?
Pigcorn.
We love Vendor.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Hey, Jeff, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out tonight. It was a
Thank you
really
for
good
having me.
time. Pleasure
Thank you.
pleasure to have you on. Why don't you tell us where we can find you on the internet? You still at Still Falling 97 pretty much everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere. I haven't streamed in a very long time. Might jump back on there at some point, but who the hell knows. But yeah, Still Falling 97 there. I'm on the Facebook group.
Yep. I think you post to Facebook more.
Yeah. Xbox, I'm just Still Falling.
Very
But
nice.
yeah, basically it.
Thank you so much for hopping on, sir. Wonderful to speak with you.
No
You
problem. Thank you.
You can find Jess over there on the Twitters at SleepIs4T. Also at Dames Who Game and at You Wastelanders. Also, she frequents our Discord group, which I think everyone should join for our lively gaming community. Jess, thanks so much for hopping on.
Thank you. Link to the Discord is in the show notes. Click on it, y'all. We get people joining every once in a while. And yeah, there's only 20, 30 of us who are kind of active in there, and maybe 10 to 15 that are really active. But if you got that burning Skyrim or Fallout or whatever question, it's a great place to just chat, as opposed to Facebook, where you got to actually post and people have to comment and actually see it, which Facebook group is active too. Love it. But yeah, if you just want to chat with us, Discord's the way to go.
And speaking of that Facebook group, that's where you go to find me. And the show can be found at the Fallout Feed. And I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed. We will see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
He doesn't get all cute and hump.
Thank fuck.
Makes lots and lots of noise. Doesn't handle it.